Yes, thank you, Rowan. Pieter-Steph, well played at the weekend. Just your experience of test match with no fans. Just did you have to find a different internal motivation, given it wasn't a normal test match atmosphere, or did that come quite easily to you guys, you personally and to the team?
Yeah, we've had experience in the past with the franchises where we played without fans. So we've been able to adapt to that, but of course it makes still a massive difference. That small flame you have inside of you that gives you the motivation to do something extra is, I won't say it's gone, but just have to find a different place to get it back and to make sure you pitch up for the game. So of course it's a big adjustment for us, but we have to take it to an advantage, and we try to make the best out of it and use the no fans for us as an advantage as well.
Can I just follow up on that, Brian? Sorry, Pieter-Steph. Just does it put more emphasis on you as leaders in the group, yourself, Sia, the senior guys, to find that fire for the rest of the team, to show them, to build them up, given that you don't have that few percent from the stands?
Yeah, we'll prepare for the whole week. We'll prepare for every test match. It's just different that there's no fans. So I guess for a young guy like Jasper that made his debut, guns up with no fans, it's sad for me personally for him to experience something like that. For me, when I run up for my first debut and with fans there, it's so special. It's something you dreamed of from a young age. So as seniors or as a playing squad and coaching squad, we'll always try and make sure we'll tick the right boxes to get that flame inside of us and ready for each test match.
Thanks.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Pieter-Steph. Next question, then Fatima. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks, Rayan. Peter, congratulations firstly on your first test match. Just one question. From the match, obviously that took place on Friday, what are you taking with you into this week, obviously in terms of preparation for the next test match?
I think this test match we played on Friday is a good indication of where we are at the moment and what we have to work on. So there's a few vital stuff I think that's not lost, that just need a bit more attention. And I think that will be our biggest focus on for this weekend as well. So, and I think it's small stuff. It's just maybe a decision there or that probably wasn't good enough, but that's something we can always fix on. I don't think it's something to worry too much about.
Thank you. Ken Boland, you're up next. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Hi, Pieter-Steph. Very well played. You mentioned trying to make the most of not having crowds and using it to your advantage. Could you expand on how exactly you use it to your advantage?
Again, it's a mental change, a mental shift you have to make. So we'll try and, for instance, the communication is a big focus point on for us. We can communicate with each other better on the field, and where messages don't get lost in translation with all the noise and the music playing normally. So I think that's probably the biggest focus point for us, is just to make sure that the communication is better on the field.
Thank you, Pieter-Steph. Adnan Mohammed, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Ryan. Hi, Dion and Pieter-Steph. I just wanted to ask you with regards to the Georgians, the physicality. Dion spoke about the physicality that they brought, the loose trio. And then also, firstly on them, and then you obviously look. I don't know if you guys looked at the Lions, both games now against Japan and last night's game against the local Lions. They loose forwards. They've got a lot of different styles of play. The attributes that they bring, and I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so the physicality of the Georgians, they're big and strong as well, and I think that's the difference. They're not guys that's big from gymming. I think they're naturally quite big and strong guys, and it's in the genes as well. So I think they've got a good mindset the way they want to play and match up us up front as well. And I think they did a good job in the beginning of the game. And again, that's, like I said, so one or two things we need to focus on, and for us just to make sure we get our pride back and do what we have to do in that set pace of the game as well. And the Lions, the loose forwards, of course, I think they're very spoiled in that department as well. They the players they can pick there is world class, and the way they want to play, I think they've got each player for every game plan or game situation they want to do. So I think they'll assess as well the way they want to play against the franchises as well, and probably not show all their cards as well. So we can't prepare for that, but yeah, they're definitely world class in that department.
Thanks.
Thank you, Pieter-Steph. And Ken, you still have your hand up. Is that for a new question, or you're just keeping it up?
Sorry, Ryan.
Thanks, Ken. Right, our next question goes to Rodri O'Connor.
Thank you, Rayan, and hello, Pieter-Steph from Ireland. How are you doing? Slightly parochial question, if you don't mind. What influence is Felix Jones having over the squad at the moment, and how important can it be to have a European voice at the table when you're preparing to face the Lions?
Yeah, Felix helped us a lot in the World Cup, so we know what he brings to the table and what he expects of us as players. So, like Dion said, we had a good chat this morning on a few mistakes we made this weekend to opportunities that we didn't take. So Felix is at his department and will definitely take pride in that. So for us to give us a bit of I won't say it's a over advantage to have him here, but he'll also find a way to help us and the way it suits us to coach us so we can be the best against the Lions.
Thank you. And just as a follow-up, can I ask you, there was a report here that you were quite close to joining Munster yourself. How true is that? Was it a disappointment that it didn't come to pass? And would you like at some stage to link up with Johan Bachran in Ireland?
There was a small communication. We had communications, but it was probably one email sent or 2 emails sent, and that's where it stopped. So it wasn't, everything wasn't true that was reported.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pieter-Steph. Craig Ray, do you have another follow-up question?
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, Pieter-Steph, just given Agia's Snyman's situation, which puts him in real doubt, and maybe Urban, and one more lock gets injured, would you be quite happy to go back into the second row if needs be for the Lions series?
Yeah, of course, I'll definitely try and play there again. I haven't played there in a while, but that's where I started my career, and I guess it's not a much difference. It's only in the scrumming it's going to change a bit. So our coaching will make sure I'll do the extra work there for the scrumming. So for me to be part of the squad and play against the Lions, I'll play where I'll play where they need me.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. There being no more further questions in English, then Percival Young, I suppose you want to ask a question in Afrikaans for Pieter-Steph to summarize. Thank you.
Baie dankie Marian. Pieter-Steph, baie geluk meneer met jou eerste wedstryd terug weer op internasionale vlak. Pieter, kan ek net vra? Ek weet baie van julle spelers, internasionale spelers, rugby spelers, julle is baie selfsugtig wanneer dit kom oor 'n individuele spel. Maar ek wil jou tog vra, hoe voel jy oor jou spelpyl op die oomblik? Is jy waar jy was sê byvoorbeeld in 2019? En die tweede deel van my vraag is, ons hoor nou van 'n hele paar kneespreuke, selfs nou van Eben Etzebeth self. En dis 'n vraag wat ek moontlik vir die afrigter moet vra. Is jy dalk huiwerig dat jy self ook moontlik besering kan opdoen? Ek weet die aard van rugby is dat daar word kontak gemaak, maar praat julle afrigters enigstens daar of julle spelers eens daaroor dat julle moontlik jouself kan seermaak in die aanloop tot hierdie groot reeks teen die Britselies?
Ongelukkig as jy daai mindset het van ingaan om ballings om seer te kry, het ek al my verlede ervaring gekry gewoonlik seer. So jy wil daarin soveel as moontlik uit jou gedagtes uitsny en as daaraan dink, het ek al ervaar gebeur het met jou. So dit is definitief deel van my gedagtes, of probeer myself en my net op so as bietjie, is ook net so goed as jou laaste wedstryd. So op 'n persoonlike vlak, ek het teruggekom van 'n erge besering af, so vir my is dit regtig net 'n voorreg om terug op die veld te wees en te kan speel en lekker te geniet. So ek dink ons almal kan altyd beter. So ek dink as jy 'n professionele sportman is of enigiets in jou loopbaan, jy sal altyd streef om beter te raak en beter te wees. So dit is definitief waar ek op die oomblik is, en ek dink almal in hierdie hele groep is op die oomblik daai selfde groep wat sê.
Dan kan ek moeilike opvolger asseblief?
Gaan voort, Percy.
Baie dankie, Rian. Pieter, kan jy vra, daar was 'n Engelse vraag vir jou gewees oor die leierskap. Jy weet ook deel van die leierskap in die groep is. Is daar baie druk op julle as senior figure in die Springbok groep, veral die lig dat julle nou eers moontlik die Vrydag is julle tweede internasionale wedstryd weer terug op die veld gaan wees?
Nee, glad nie. Ons het natuurlik ouens wat, as jy nou kyk na leierskappe met met toetse, maar ons werk glad nie op daai vlak is. So ons het maar ouens wat stand bestuur, maak dit saak op 'n jonger of 'n ouens wat baie toetswedstrydig is en al met hom, maar natuurlik die posisie is maar baie gespesifiseer tot om die leiereienskap op die veld en wat van daai persoon afhang op die oomblik. So daar's natuurlik druk op ouens om seker te maak die regte goed word gedoen by regte tyd van die veld, maar hulle word met die regte werk van in die regte rigting gedruk op die veld.
Baie dankie, Percy. Thank you, everyone. That then concludes our conference for this afternoon.